As children, most of us were taught to follow the golden rule. Treat others like we'd like to be treated. But this doesn't work when we're crossing generational boundaries. Here at Psygenx, we can help you to be successful no matter what generation you're dealing with. Today, baby boomers are the man. They're the dominant force in business. It's their generational archetype, it's their way of doing things that's really the model of how we get things done. But increasingly we're seeing pressure from the millennial generation who want to do things different. In fact, they want to do far less talking and far more doing. And we're going to see this battle play out in ever-increasing intensity over the next few years, with Gen X in the middle trying to referee between these two dominant groups as we change how we do work, where we do work, and what it means to be successful. Today, Gen X, like the other generations, are moving into a different role. We're becoming midlife leaders, fulfilling new role in society. And this role is something that doesn't necessarily come easy to Gen X. We were ignored and criticized as children, and so giving others praise and encouragement and positive feedback just isn't something that we want, and it's something that's hard for us to give. So as we're working with other people, it's going to be important for us to give them what they need to be successful, not just what a Generation X person would want for her or himself. The Millennials are a different breed. They're not like Gen X. They're not cynical. They're not sarcastic. They're positive. They have a can-do attitude. They're willing to work in groups, and they're willing to do things. They're a much different animal than Gen X. We told these kids when they were little that they could change the world. And you know what? The little suckers believed us. So they've come here into the business world and they're trying to change things. Now that you know about each of the generations, it's important to know, hey, now what do I do about it? To work successfully with the generations, communications and rewards are critical. When we talk about communication, boomers, it's got to be face-to-face. That's where real relationships are made. For Gen X, we want something more transactional, like an email or maybe a text. And for millennials, literally, it's just text me, dude. If you want to get a hold of a millennial, you call them on the phone, they're not going to answer it. You try to leave them a voicemail, it hasn't been set up, and more importantly, it hasn't been checked in 6 months. If you want to get a hold of a millennial, text them. They'll text you back. Now that you know a little bit about each generation, it's important to focus on what you can do to bring them together. If we look at these different generations, we can see each one has a different work preference, a different way that they interact, and a different style that's important to take into consideration. Some of the needs that are different for a boomer, they need to vent. If you want a boomer to connect with what you're doing, you need to invite them to a meeting and say, Sally, Steve, how do you feel about it? Hand them the mic and find out. That's how you really connect. For Gen X, we don't really care how you're doing. Give us a task and get out of the way. We'll figure it out. That's our motto, figure it out. For millennials, they need to know why they're doing something. They need inspiration. They need to know that what they're doing is contributing to the bottom line, that it's making a difference for the world. They need to feel that what they're doing is important and connected. I want to draw your attention to one of the areas that I, as a Generation X person, make a lot of mistakes, and that's the focus on process versus results. For baby boomers, process is key. If you're making a decision, how a decision is made is important, or I would say even more important than what that decision is. They want to make sure that everyone is involved, everyone is heard. For me in Generation X, I don't really care about the process. I want to know the bottom line. A few years ago, I was working with a group of baby boomers. We were working with our boss, and they had come up with a way to redesign how we were going to work with clients. They wanted everyone to be involved in this decision, so they came to our all-hands meeting, and they had a 1 hour and 45-minute reenactment of this meeting, everyone playing their part from our boss to the members of the team. As a Gen X person, it was excruciating, but for the boomers in the room, it really made them feel connected to that decision. Most people follow the golden rule. They treat others like they want to be treated. And that works fine when you're talking to your own generation. But when you're working across generation, the things that you do to bring comfort, to show respect, can be actually the opposite of what you intended. So when you're working across generations and you don't know the person, guess what the generation would like first. Remember, keep what generations like in mind and you'll be a lot more successful than just giving people what you would like. Here at Psygenx, we're working to unlock the power of generational psychology to help you and your business succeed. You can reach me via email, on our Psygenx.com homepage, or on our Facebook fan page.